Friends, I'm excited to follow up from last week's conversation about how to have your best, healthiest life 40 plus with this episode. Back in October 2021, I did a free summit and / paid summit, and it was called Your Healthiest Years Yet, and it was for women 40 plus. And I did a special talk called The Best Essential Oils for Hormones and Women's Health 40 plus. And so really excited to bring this episode to you because I think when it comes to hormone health, particularly as we approach perimenopause or menopause, or even if we're in the fertile state, just regular cycle going, I just think there's a lot of things that we women go through that we don't realize that we have to go through. And I just think different things that we can do habit-wise, as well as using essential oils, can really support us in our health in this process. And so really excited to bring this sneak peek of the Your Healthiest Years Yet Summit for you by bringing this talk that I did called the Best Essential Oils for Hormones and Women's Health. Now, if you missed this summit and you would like to get access to all of the different talks, all of the different speakers' free resources, I actually have paid access that you can go ahead and purchase the summit and really use that as a resource for you to really dive in and establish the mindset and habits you need to have your healthiest years yet. And of course, a lot of my health coaching clients and even my essential oil clients are 40 plus. And so if you're wanting support coaching wise, i.e. mindset and habits, or even using some tools like essential oils, please reach out. I would love to figure out how I can support you in that. All right. So listen to the episode, check out the summit, as well as make sure you reach out if you're interested in coaching or essential oils. Okay. Talk to you soon and enjoy. You're listening to the Madewell Women podcast, and I am Brianna Wilkerson, your host. You know, for over half my life, I really had to pay attention to my relationship with food, with my body, and with myself. As a young girl, I just started to find my worth in my weight and my work. And I really started to define my beauty, my body, and my value in all of those things. And that led to a very not healthy way of eating, not healthy way of taking care of myself. But when I started to realize that my worth was not in my weight and that healthy living did not have to be so depriving, but it could actually be joyful, that's when I found freedom and breakthrough. And it has been my mission ever since to help women do the same. So Madewell Women is about helping other women find peace with food, create healthy habits, and use essential oils confidently. So you're going to find solo episodes, you're going to find guest interviews from time to time, and really you're just going to find a space where I can talk to you from heart to heart, woman to woman, to really support you in creating your version of food freedom, finding healthy habits that support you in your life, and using essential oils to support you along the way. And as I mentioned, I'm an essential oils lover and I'm an advocate with doTERRA, and I really want to help more and more women and homes use essential oils for your health and for women's health, their family, and their homes. So I'm so glad you're here and so glad to support you. Before you go and listen to the episode, I want you to do a couple things. One, make sure you join the Madewell Women's Health community. This is a space where you can unpack these episodes and get support on your journey, as well as follow me on Instagram because I share all about behind the scenes of my own life there as well. All right, enjoy the episode, and I can't wait to get to know you more and support you. Welcome back to another session with me, Brianna, your host. I am so excited to lead you through one of my favorite topics and one of my favorite things to use, and that is essential oils. And so I love whenever I'm hosting summits, bringing in a conversation around this to really help demystify what they are and help educate women to seeing that they are beautiful, natural solutions for their health, home, and family. I do not believe they take the place of actually changing our lifestyle, right? Which is why I have a whole summit around helping you change your lifestyle. And I do coaching in that area, but I do believe they can be these great tools to supplement what we're doing. All right. So today I wanted to talk through, I have taught probably nearly, I don't want to say 100, but a lot of different topics. I've done many classes, many webinars, and all of my wholesale customers have access to the Healthy Oily Home Academy, which has all replays of any topic you could probably think of and essential oils to really help them customize their oils and their experience. But today I wanted to bring in the conversation because of the summit, where when most of us are approaching the, perimenopause, menopause phase, and we'll define what those are,
in our 40s, our hormones shift. They just do, particularly estrogen and progesterone. And that will cause an array of things in our body. So I wanted to have a conversation, just say, what are the best essential oils for hormones and women 40 plus? All right. I am going to try to keep this short because I can get really, I was like, with my coaching talk, I was just, okay, oh, Brian, I come home on in, but I can get really lost in this because it's just so fascinating to me and I love talking about it. So I might not go through every single slide, but I will try to link the slides in here for you to look at later. Particularly, actually, if you purchase the summit, you'll definitely get access to the slides. All righty, let's get started. So I am the host of this summit, in addition to being a health and life coach that helps women find peace with food, confidence with their body, and healthy lifestyle that's more than about their weight. I'm a wellness advocate for doTERRA essential oils and love using them and teaching other women how to use them as non-toxic solution for their home and family. I love paleo gluten-free brownies with coconut milk ice cream. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm married and I have a 16-month-old baby girl. I love kind of, I would say not crime fighting shows. I'm been really into first responder shows, like firefighters, cops, like anyone into it. Favorite oil at the moment is simply lavender. Usually whenever I've done this, it's like a blend or whatever, but lavender has been so useful for, yes, sleep for us and our daughter, our laundry and cleaning, scrapes that my daughter now gets because she's active and up and about. And so lavender can be used for multiple ways, which I kind of share here too as well. So why should you even consider essential oils? Maybe you've been around for a while and you've heard of these things and you're like, okay, they're great for, I don't know, they're great for helping you manage stress or sleep, like emotional aromatherapy, like stress and sleep are maybe the two ones, but you're probably like, can they actually help with my hormones? Can they actually help with cleaning? Can they actually help with my thyroid issue? Like, can they help with any of these things? And the answer is yes, there's an oil for everything. But why should you consider them among other options, right? And I just think our modern approach to health really looks at managing symptoms. Oh, you're having a headache, put something, whatever, versus like solutions that can help us get to the root. First of all, if you're having headaches, you do have to kind of like take more of a functional health approach. What's causing them? But what could also help you when that happens? And a lot of the solutions that we're given have a lot of side effects that may make something else worse. So are we actually even any healthier? We spend tons of money on this, right? Well, I believe a more natural, what we would call functional health approach, looks at the root causes. And essential oils helps us deal with that because it can kind of get to the core of the issue within your body as well. And they're super cost effective, especially if you get a good quality potency and stuff and purity. It's like 1 drop per usage, right? So I want you to, whoopsie, maybe not in the chat box because this is recorded, but in the questions in here in Member Vault, or even share in the Facebook group, write out what is your experience with essential oils and what brought you to this class? Like, what are you hoping to learn? Like, and I want to ask this because I really just want you to be like, okay, why did this interest me? And when you answer the questions, I get to see, so I can interact with you as well. Okay. So we're going to cover all of this briefly. All right. We're going to look at the basics of essential oils. We're going to look at hormones 101, a little bit about perimenopause and menopause, common areas of hormone imbalance in women's 40 plus, and then I'm going to talk about my resources and giveaways. Basics. I'm going to be doing a free webinar on the 11th post-summit, 2 weeks after, to kind of guide, well, 3 weeks after. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Because I have the post-summit group coaching call that you get access to if you purchase, as well as then the webinar after. So I'm just having one thing each week. Where I'm going to go a lot more into the basics and the introduction, right? So I'm not going to cover too much of that today. I'm going to get more into like the hormones part and the women 40 plus. But essential oils, what they are at their core, they are the roots, the stems, the leaves, the bark, all of that different aspects of a plant that when essential oil companies distill it, there's different processes of distillation. They get the pure extract or the oil, which becomes, it's actually 50 to 70 times more powerful than say an herb. So with peppermint, if you were to look at this at a microscopic level, there's little oil sacs on the top of the peppermint leaf. And essential oil companies have extracted just that bit. Well, ideally should extract just that bit through proper distillation. So that just makes it more potent. And think about these, like like they bring life to the plant. There's some value that they're adding to the plant, and we get to have that health benefit as well. 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint is equal to 28 cups of tea in regards to potency. So tell me, if you're going to put hot water in a drop of peppermint, unless you want to like a cool steam effect, use a toothpick and get a little, like half of it, right? It's powerful. And again, because of they're able to actually, cross what we call the blood-brain barrier, get to the inside of our cells, they can address the problem. And they're affordable, they're available at home, and they're just easy to access. And when you know how to use them, they're like my first, it's a fly. I just kept watching it. I'm like, don't you come next to us. Which there are essential oils that can help with flies too, by the way. Which, what was I saying? Flies distract me. Are available. They're my first like line of defense for me and my family is essential oils and supplements and all that from doTERRA. They're effective again because they get to the membrane of the cell and they can get inside there while a lot of stuff can't. There are 3 different ways to use at least doTERRA. Some oils you have to, and also looking at the bottle and reading the bottle is very important to know how you can use them. But most to all of doTERRA's can be used aromatically, in a diffuser, smelling it, diffuser jewelry, topically on your skin, and internally in a cup of water. And there are ways of best using it that way, or putting in a veggie capsule. And so there are different ways to use it, and there are certain ways to use it that are probably more beneficial depending on the type of thing that you're trying to use it for. So that's why I definitely love helping and educating around that. Honestly, why I chose doTERRA is there's a lot of reasons. I'm not here to say which company is better than anyone. Like that's not my fight. My fight is actually making sure people you get good quality oils and know how to use them. And that's why I partnered with doTERRA, because I truly believe they're a company that does that. They have a beautiful standard of purity, a beautiful standard of the testing and processing to make sure that the oil is actually what it should be in regards to its what we would call chemical constituents or chemistry, making sure that it's pure even after it gets to you and has no microbe stuff or microbacteria. And their culture of the company supporting and sourcing oils from certain communities that need a good fair wage, that grow it best and that they could support in return. And just the quality of support I even get from my mentors in using them. And so I have a podcast episode. I actually have an oils podcast that has been on break for a long time called the Healthy Oily Home Podcast, where the first episodes kind of goes into, I think it was like 4 or 5 reasons why I chose that particular company. And so you can definitely listen to that to kind of understand why, if you're like been thinking about different things. But I just love them because, their purity, their culture, their compassion, and the mission that they have to help people in the world and their health, and vice versa. Also, as a health coach, they have different products and oils designed for these different areas: eat right, exercise. They call them something a little bit different now. Rest and manage stress, reduce toxic load. I believe they've added in household in there too. And as you can see from this whole summit, a lot of my pillars are the same. And so I just really aligned with them and their holistic wellness. I've already asked you that. What is your experience with oils and what do you want to learn? Let's talk a little bit about hormones, okay? So what are hormones? So hormones are these beautiful things called chemical messengers that are produced from your endocrine system, which is a combination of different stuff in your body and organs and stuff. And these hormones do a variety of very important things in your body, such as regulating your metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sexual reproductive function, sleep, mood, among other things. And so when these chemical messengers, almost like what you would call your telephone line, is cut or not working, they can't do what we would call, like, there's a lock and key thing they do. So like they go out saying to like brain, go to feet, move or whatever. And if there's like a block and imbalance, it cannot communicate. So your body cannot communicate well. And you guys know what lack of communication or miscommunication can bring in a relationship or in a work environment. Same thing with your body. Miscommunication or lack thereof can wreak havoc on our body. But also, as women, which we'll talk about later, as we get older, certain hormones decrease. And so and that actually play a huge important role in our body. So our bodies are trying to compensate and different things are happening. We'll talk about that. Kind of talked about this already, the bind and receptor, and they act kind of as a symphony. Each part has their part and play. And if they're not operating the way it should, the other parts can't do what they're supposed to do. They affect every tissue of the body. They get out of whack, and then they can impact everything from gut function, muscle growth and recovery, bone health, brain function, mood, digestive health, and more. This is just a glimpse of different, the glands, the hormones, the target organs that those hormones kind of go to, and then the function. I think most of us are familiar with ovaries and estrogen and progesterone, and the target organ being the uterus, and it helps manage our menstrual cycle or all of that. But there's other ones. There's the pituitary gland, which helps with oxytocin, that feel good thing, growth hormone, prolactin. FSH and LH are follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, which is actually a really important part of your menstrual cycle. And so just seeing how they all tie in together, and I didn't even mention cortisol over here, but cortisol, I did, adrenal glands. Cortisol helps you manage good and bad stress. So it's like all of these, insulin, another big one, helps with the blood sugar levels, can really, if they're out of balance, they can wreak havoc. So let's talk about perimenopause, menopause. So menstrual cycle, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with that. It's actually a very beautiful thing. And I've had different podcast episode guests, particularly Lisa Hendrickson Jack, who wrote The Fifth Vital Sign, just gave me a whole new appreciation for our menstrual cycle. And there's a tons of other women out there who are become advocates for us to know it's a beautiful thing that has become hard for us because of different things happening in our body, and actually exposure to different things that our body was never meant to be exposed to, such as toxins, for example. But it's this beautiful cycle where, it prepares a woman's body for pregnancy. And then when that doesn't happen, it releases and all that. And fertility, we're typically very fertile up until our later 30s, maybe sometimes even early 40s. But when towards your end of your 30s and 40s, many of us will enter into what we call perimenopause. And this can go on for a while, actually, probably a decade plus, where your female hormones start to decline. Your estrogen, particularly your estrogen, progesterone, start to decline, which actually both of them play very huge roles in your body for more than just your cycle. So if they're, and you can get estrogen from other places in your body too, but this area is a place that produces a lot of it, right? So when that happens, there's just different imbalances that happen because of the age you're in. So what can we do habit-wise and supplement and tools-wise to help the process? And it's interesting because a lot of women will say, I'm going through menopause, when actually they're still having their period. You're going through perimenopause. Menopause is when you have completely ceased a period for a year. That's when most people would say you're in menopause, which then just has different things that you need to get support around, right? I'm actually not going to go into these. I was going to go in more detail into these, and I've done a couple of different hormone webinars, essential oils, coaching base, that are actually available for all my oils customers and coaching clients, where I go in more depth into the role these play in the body and how they can easily get out of balance. Some of these are non-steroid and steroid, if you're wondering what that means. Break down that later too. I don't want to go into that too much because I also want to realize that we have a lot to cover still. But these are the ones that really, I think this is 8 that we want to pay attention to in this phase. All right. What did you learn about hormones? Did you learn anything new, or you're like, okay, I got that? That's fine. We're going to talk more about this actually as we go along, the consequences of imbalance. So I want you to take a quiz. This is a quiz. I believe this is from Dr. Marisa Snyder or someone else that I really love around hormones. And just take a screenshot or just figure out, do you have any of these? Maybe tally it up. You're not feeling energy. Do you feel like you have an inability to lose weight, unexplained weight gain, bone crushing fatigue, low to no libido, anxious feelings, vaginal dryness, very common as you get older, roller coaster mood swings, headaches, wired and tired, can't sleep, heavy, long, little to no menstrual periods, infertility, digestive distress, all of these things, brain fog, thinning hair, oily or dry skin. Most likely, again, it's probably not just it is your hormones, but there's more than just one fix, right? Because remember how we talked about it's all connected. We want to pay attention to that, right? But most likely this is a sign of some sort of hormone imbalance. And so what I want to do now is just talk about 10 common areas. There's more, but I just wanted to pick 10 where there could be hormone imbalance. I'm going to kind of like define how that could happen, maybe what hormones are involved. And I'm just going to mention 3 essential oils for each. Some of these are single oils. Some of them are blends that doTERRA has that you could always see what the single oil is, and go from there. Okay, we're going to look at stress, energy, and fatigue, sleep issues, weight issues, female hormones, thyroid health, digestive issues, mood issues, hot flashes and night sweats, brain fog, and cognitive function. There are other ones that you may be facing, like pelvic floor dysfunction, urinary incontinence, maybe vaginal dryness, low libido, some other things. Definitely we could talk about if there are oils for that after this, but I just wanted to focus us, okay? So stress, we all know what it is, we feel it. It is basically the fight or flight response in our body, where our body is saying there's a threat and we need to deal with it. So we either fight that threat or we fly from that threat, or maybe we just kind of stay frozen, you know. And chronic stress is what we're under. A lot of us are under, where we're just constantly mentally and physically stressed. And that would actually could break down our cellular stress, cause what we call oxidative stress, and break down our cells, which we're made up of our cells. So we want to watch that. And there's different types of stress. Again, there could be physical, there could be trauma related, like something happened in that, if you're holding that stress in your body, or it kind of triggers another stress when you're like, something helps you remember that, or mental and emotional. But regardless of what happens, we are going to get stressed. We just need to figure out how do we manage it before it manages us. And the different, particularly cortisol is the main one happening, but cortisol will impact your insulin, it will impact your adrenaline, it will impact your estrogen, progesterone, and melatonin, and vice versa. And so we want to, and as we age, estrogen and progesterone go down, and that impacts all of this, right? So lavender, friends, please just use lavender for everything. It is a beautiful oil that can be used for multiple things because of its chemical constituent called linalool, which is calming by nature. You can use it in multiple ways to help you with stress. You can use it throughout your day. You can use it in this one you can use in your tea, in your cooking, in a bath, in your linens, and just really on your body, diffusing it, rolling it on. There's just so many ways to use this, but this is a powerful tool to manage your cortisol levels. Serenity is a blend. It's the restful, I think it's called the restful blend now, not the calming blend. It's a blend of all of those oils that can bring you serenity. Lavender, marjoram, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, Hawaiian sandalwood, and actually they've updated these since. I keep forgetting to up this one. It now has whole wood and vetiver and all of these wood oils that are by nature, when you're outside in nature, calming. And then lavender and chamomile, which we would use tea for. So it's a blend together to help you create serenity. I love using this particularly for sleep at night, but also I've used it for stress. I even have a roller, which this was like a one-time thing that they had the roller. For sure I bought it, but I love using the oil in my diffuser at night. So this can help you with sleep and anxious feelings throughout your day or at night. And then adaptive is this, there's oil, Serenity also has some supplements too, and so does adaptive. But adaptive is a new line that came out maybe a year or two ago to help with mind and mood, to help with mental overwhelm. So it helps boost your mood, increase feelings of tranquility, calming and relaxing. It has wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum. Honestly, the summit's a lot. I love doing them, but I was feeling a little anxious preparing for it. I rolled on adaptive. I like diffused it everywhere, took some deep breaths, and my goodness, took a little walk. And I just was like, all right, I'm calm and centered, right? Multiple ways you can use this in a bath, a massage, calm and center your mind, inhale it, and so forth. So again, you could use the single oils to do this, but when you blend them, doTERRA is specifically allowing some synergy to happen when you blend these together. So lavender, serenity, and adaptive are great ones. Energy and fatigue. So, energy, a lot of women, as you get older, your cellular, what you call your mitochondria, your cellular form of energy, and again, your hormones are shifting. It can lead you to feeling fatigued. Maybe you're not sleeping as well, then that leads you to feeling more fatigue, can contribute to decreased motivation and apathy, diminished vitality. And there's a lot of underlying issues at hand that can, like, honestly, if you work on the other areas of health, like work on these healthy habits, it could help you with your energy and fatigue. But just know as you age, that's the thing. So how can we have like some simple solutions like essential oils? Peppermint is one of my favorite. Peppermint is cooling and reinvigorating by nature because of its high menthol component, which is a very cooling agent. So if you're feeling fatigued or low on energy, actually the three of them, I'm going to talk about peppermint, orange, and frankincense are really great to use together. You can put it in, I use it in my shampoo. I sometimes diffuse it when I'm needing a boost. I sometimes drink a thing of water, drink a drop in my water, particularly around exercise and all that. So it's a very good reinvigorating oil. Wild orange, you get a mixture of the mints and the citruses. Citruses have what we call high limonene. They're refreshing, they're cleansing and stimulating. So the citruses and the mints together provide a very sweet scent to uplift your mood and provide that energy boost. And also you can clean with it as well. Frankincense, again, you talk about like how stress and all that has oxidative, and then energy has, it holds within our cells. Frankincense is actually really one to help with cellular health. Internally, externally, great for your skin, great for your brain. Like actually when you have, oh my God, I had a tip that when I had my daughter put frankincense right on the brain, you know, like how this is the soft bit, so it can form good cellular health. And so really great for your mental health, just like that internal process going. And you can use it in multiple ways. Sleep. So we all know what sleep is, but sleep is basically a state of mind, a state of where your body goes into, it's less, certain parts of it are less active. Your conscious practically suspended and you can rest. And as you can see, there's different hormones that happen in what we call our circadian rhythm, or our sleep-wake cycle. Melatonin is our sleep hormone, should be really high at night. Cortisol should be low. Serotonin should be high. Dopamine should be low. We shouldn't be too excited. Insulin should be low. We shouldn't feel like we need food or like have to deal with storing food. Leptin should be high. We should feel full, and ghrelin should be low, which is a hunger hormone to help you feel hungry. But often the opposite happens for all of them because of a variety of things, light, stress, all of that, where melatonin's low. So we don't feel tired and we feel wired, and we're feeling stressed because of the high levels of cortisol. Where we're feeling hungry because we're always up and not sleeping well, right? So it's a hormone thing. It's not just you, but there are things we can do, again, through those healthy habit shifts. And, you know, there's some great talks around that, as well as using some oils. So I love to use Serenity. I think we've already talked about Serenity, right? It's in my diffuser every night. I love to use Balance, which is a sweeter, I even have a Balance roller, which was a special one. My husband really likes this. I don't want to say it's more manly, but the whole wood, frankincense, blue tansy, spruce, it's really earthy and grounding. So I love to use Balance throughout my day, but also love to use it at night with Serenity. And then Copaiba, most people would like use a lot of things like CBD. This is kind of like an oil that is similar, where it helps calm, soothe, and support the nervous system, inflammation, immune, digestive, and respiratory health. And you can use this one in multiple ways. I actually love putting a drop in the bottom of my tongue at night and diffusing it with those three, actually, those other two oils. Weight management. So maybe you feel like you have a lot of cravings, you know, slower metabolism. First, as a more than your weight coach, your weight is not the only important factor in determining whether you're healthy or not, but it can be an indicator that something's off. You feel like your weight's creeping up. All of that could be a metabolism issue. It could be so much, it could be a hormonal issue, right? But just know your weight isn't the only thing to define, and you are more important than this number, and so is your health. We want to look at all things, but it can be an indicator, okay? Estrogen, progesterone, and insulin are three big ones. Estrogen is more than a reproductive one. It helps with food intake, energy expenditures, and body fat distribution. But as we get older, it declines. So it can trigger more fat around our hips and thighs and belly. Maybe you didn't have that before. You have more of it now. So you may be decreasing the amount of food we eat as a solution. Progesterone decreases with age. Progesterone is our keep calm hormone, but it also, without it, you can retain more water and experience bloating. Helps us to, it can help us to sleep, but again, less of it could lead to sleep deprivation, which actually can lead to weight issues. Insulin, too much sugar in our body, which can come from any form of carbohydrates, allows our body to keep producing insulin, which can cause increased sugar and carb cravings, and our body's not sure how to deal with what it's doing and can decrease our metabolism, right? So lemon is a great one for your metabolism. It's a cleansing oil by nature, gets rid of all the toxins in your body, which tend to hide in your fat, and it just can be a powerful antioxidant for even your free radicals and different things. Peppermint is actually really great for cravings and Peppermint, lemon, ginger, grapefruit, cinnamon. Actually, it's a blend, which, yep, talk about slim and sassy, which all of those are in there. It's a metabolic grain to help manage cravings, help a healthy metabolism, healthy weight management. So don't think you need to please don't hear me wrong and say, I'm going to use this oil and I'm going to be slim and sassy immediately. You are already sassy and slim. You know, you're great. But what I'm trying to say is that these things can help provide a little metabolism boost. Female hormones. And so we've talked about this already. Kind of talked already about this, but in addition to low estrogen, sometimes people have what we call estrogen dominance, which comes from an imbalance of some sort, things mimicking estrogen in our body, and that could cause an array of issues. Some people have low progesterone in general, which also cause an array of issues, but as you age, you have lower of these anyways. So those are something to pay attention to. I didn't mean to click that one in there. That was too much. The top 3 are Claricon. This is one everyone needs to have, regardless of what season you're in. This Clary Sage is the main one in it, but it's all about helping powerful hormonal balance. Whether it's during menstruation or menopause, it encourages warmth in relationships even. There's the emotional benefits there, but it's a blend of Clary Sage, lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, etc. You can use it during your menstrual cycle as you transition into perimenopause or menopause, or even after, as you're in moments of heat, you know, adding that cooling effect or even calming your emotions and your mood. Geranium is in Claricon, but it's also great for alleviating pent-up stress and emotional balance. I actually use it I used to use it as a deodorant. So it's detoxifying by nature as well, great for your hair. And then ylang-ylang helps daily hormonal support, balance, reduce blood pressure, total body relaxation. And you can use it in multiple ways. Thyroid health, those little things here, contributes to your mood, metabolism, energy, and more. And a lot of women actually go undiagnosed with thyroid conditions, whether it's hyper, I think hyper is too much thyroid hormones, and hypo, not enough. And yeah, here we go. So hyperthyroidism can lead to these simple symptoms of imbalances. Hypo could lead to this. Hyper meaning too much. It could lead to weight loss, anxiety, shaky hands, insomnia, loose stools. Hypo could kind of do the opposite: weight gain, cold intolerance, slow heart rate, fatigue, constipation, menstrual irregularities. And so it's very important, if you feel like you do have a thyroid issue or even a hormonal issue. Yes, I do believe healthy habits and lifestyle changes can help and maybe even rectify things on their own with solutions like this. But if you're ever concerned, there are do-it-yourself hormone tests, or go see a lab practitioner who specializes in this and just figure out what you need to do to kind of or which hormones may be imbalanced. And yes, you could take something forward, but also, you know, lifestyle conditions could help as well. So it's totally okay to go get an actual test around this. And there's people who specialize in that. Tea tree or melaleuca is really awesome for your thyroid health. Just clearing, it's antiseptic. It just clears the way of anything. It's cleansing, clears the way of anything that may impact, and that also great for your skin and a variety of other things. Clove is known to help regulate your body's stress response, which again, stress does impact your thyroid, and also has a lot of healthy antioxidant benefits to help that thyroid health. And then frankincense is just good for everything. Actually, it's the king of oils, so promote healthy immune and endocrine responses and decreases inflammation. Digestive issues also happens because a variety of things happen within our body, right? Hormones, when you're stressed, did I say that? When you're stressed, your body's saying, I don't need to digest food. So that causes an array of things, right? Serotonin is made in your gut. So many things are made in your gut. It's like your second brain. And this is the different system of how it functions. So if your hormones are not communicating with your whole digestive system well, it's going to cause havoc. Favorite digestive oils, Digestion. Zen. And it's a blend again: ginger, fennel, caraway, coriander, and anise. And you can use it in multiple ways. Rub it on your tummy, take it internally, or smell it if you're feeling nauseous or something like that. Lemon is in that again, but lemon on its own is very cleansing and great for digestive health. And then of course, peppermint. So you see some of these are repeating. And there's tons of other oils. I could have put ginger in here, but I just wanted to repeat, like there's these common ones I will talk about in the Essential Oil 101 webinar that are really, really powerful and great that you can use for multiple things. Wrapping up here, a couple more areas. Mood issues. More women report having an increase in mood swings, anxiety, and depression because estrogen is fluctuating, and it's actually a mood boosting hormone. So low levels of that as you get older can add to that. Progesterone is also a calming hormone, and low levels can add to that. And then again, because those are out of balance, it's very easy for cortisol to impact our body in ways and mess with our systems. Adaptive oil, we kind of talked about this. Mind and mood can help with that, those mood issues. Citrus Bliss is one of my favorite. It is vanilla, which is now available on its own. Thank you, doTERRA. 13 years in the making, but it's a blend of all the citruses and vanilla, and it can just give you that invigorating boost. And then Elevation is a blend of a bunch of different oils, but my gosh, it is just like whoop, low energy to high energy and mood. Hot flashes and night sweats, probably one of the most common symptoms, right, for women in perimenopause and menopause. It's when an internal heat wave, which often includes sweating, flushing of the skin, and increased heart rate, that happens often because of hormonal changes when your estrogen is starting to drop. It affects your ovaries' response to what we call the luteinizing hormone, which tends to be released around ovulation, which can cause a release of the stress hormone, hot flash. They usually last about 1 to 5 minutes and are frequently followed by a cold chill. And then a nighttime hot flash is called a night sweat, interfere with your sleep and all of that, right? Peppermint, again, is a cooling oil. So you can diffuse some peppermint. If you rub it, it's a very tingly oil, like it's just cooling. So I like to dilute it if I'm putting it on my skin, but smelling it, putting a drop in your water helps. Claricon, again, can help with these, anything around that time or where estrogen is involved. The geranium is also a great oil to help relieve that emotional balance. But I really like, I would suggest the Claricon and peppermint. Brain fog and cognitive function. You're occasionally forgetting things. I'm 32, I'm doing this with a kid. You're distracted, have trouble recalling. It's just like as your body ages in particular, or you have less sleep, it's like your blood vessels and your brain cells and neurons age as well. And so they're transporting that information. So your body may not be able to function as quickly, which could lead, and then low estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol, and all of those can add, like it's just, again, all connected. Rosemary is really great for that mental mind boost, and nervous tension and respiratory health. I love diffusing rosemary with actually orange, peppermint, and frankincense to help that good energy focus, brain focus. Vetiver is amazing. It's a thick oil sourced from Haiti, but let me tell you, this will calm you. I love diffusing this at night. I would say like lavender gets you to sleep, vetiver keeps you asleep. So it's really good it's so earthy. I mean, it smells like ass because that's what it is, but it's powerful to blend with some other oils. And I have some classes for my customers too around how do we blend. So if you're like, how do I blend? We can figure that out. Frankincense, again, frankincense like 4 times, right? Get some frankincense. It's so good for your overall brain cellular health. And so as we wrap up, you might need to watch this one again. You might need to pause and take notes, but what are 2 to 3 essential oils you want to try, and for what? What are the 10 areas that I mentioned, and what oils you're like, I think I'm curious. I think I'm interested. I would love to try it. I actually do think I linked this for the free, during the live or free summit. Think through that, go back to it, look at the notes, let me know. So as we wrap up, resources and giveaways. So my free resource for you, if you're watching live, even if you're not watching live, this one is actually typically always available on replay, but I love to attend live because it's like a live session, right? That you can ask questions and all that. That's why I asked you to go to my other webinar. And actually on the webinar, you could possibly win some oils if you attend live too. But I'll talk about the basic of oils, top essential oils to use for multiple things, testimonies, more about doTERRA, how to get started, and special offers and opportunities. So you can go to that link, Essential Oils 101 Live. It's linked in here. Join me. It's 3 weeks after the summit for this live webinar. All right, and so sign up for that. And then I think I have my face. I'll get to that. For my giveaway, I'm giving away an intro to essential oils kit. I mentioned lemon, lavender, and peppermint multiple times. And so you can get a 5 milliliter bottle, which is about 90 to 100 drops. Sorry, 90 to 100 drops. when you purchase the lifetime access, you'll enter in the raffle for this. Plus, you'll get an essential oils consultation on how to use it and what oils can help with what. You don't have to, sir, I meant to move that away. When you purchase lifetime access, you automatically enter into the raffle. But if you let me know in the group, I can definitely touch base with you to see why are you so interested, right? So definitely, if you're interested in winning this, purchase the summit. Because all the speakers are giving other great giveaways as well. So the More Than Your Weight Women's community is my big community that I'm primarily in every day. And my Healthy Oily Home community just for customers, my wholesale customers who are under my team, under my leadership. I am very active in both of those groups, but I have an Essential Oils Party Lounge group when there are new oils or special promotions or special deals, or I'm doing a one-off like special class that I'm opening up to anyone that you could join. So you can kind of know what those things are and kind of like whenever those promotions are happening. Again, my customers get the most support from me on a daily basis in the Facebook community and through sessions with me and my team. But if you're interested in joining a group whenever and learning about all the promotions, you can definitely, by joining the oils webinar, you're on my email list, or you can join this community. And I'm bringing back my oils podcast in November. I took a break from it for a while to focus on my other coaching podcast, but I'll share, yes, about promotions, some education and all that, and just kind of educate people more around essential oils and at the Healthy Oily Home podcast. That's it. Sign up for the webinar. Purchase the summit to get some free oils, and feel free to join the party lounge for the support and the podcast. All right. So I didn't do too bad. I think it was like 35. I'm grateful for you all. I hope you learned something about essential oils from here. I hope you're feeling encouraged and inspired to know that these can be beautiful solutions for as you age or in just different seasons of life, and just to using for your health, home, and family. Okay. I'll see you in the Facebook group, and have a good one.
Friend, I hope you're leaving this episode, especially if you're approaching 40s or you're above, just hopeful that you don't have to go through a lot of these things that us as women go through as our hormones shift, as our body shift, as our age shifts, and really recognizing that you can still have your healthiest years yet, particularly how essential oils can support you. So if you're interested in learning more about essential oils, you can sign up for my Essential Oils 101 webinar that I mentioned on the training. You could reach out. Right now, I'm on maternity leave, but please reach out if you are interested in essential oils. Would love to talk with you or just chat with you, whether it's through Instagram or if, baby's all settled, we could even chat on the phone. So please reach out. I would love to help you get started, because I think the thing when it comes to oils, you can use oils for so many different things, but we want to just get started where we most need it. So you might want to get started with your hormone health. It might be something else, but please reach out. I would love to support you in that. Also, if you're interested in getting support coaching-wise, health coaching-wise, to really work on the mindset and the habits around your health so that you can have your healthiest years yet, please reach out as well. I would love to support you, okay? So check out also access to the summit if you want some support that way. Grab that access to that free 101 webinar for essential oils, and reach out if you're interested in getting started or learning more what it would be like for me to support you from an essential oils or coaching point of view. All right. See you later. And I'll, see you in the next episode. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Madewell Women podcast and enjoyed whether it was me and a solo episode or my guest thoughts on really how to help you live a healthy life and to be made well. But before you go, I want to make sure you know you're not alone. These podcasts are meant to be inspirational. They're meant to support you as you're going about your daily life. But where I have found the most transformation is one-on-one support, but also community. So make sure you join the Madewell Women's Health community, where you can process this podcast and get support in whatever aspect of a Madewell journey you're on. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram, because there you're going to also be able to see behind the scenes and just how I live my own Madewell woman life. All right. Can't wait to support you. Can't wait to get to know you more. And again, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please rate, review it. Let me know how it was for you. And the more people that rate and review the podcast, the more women that could see it. All right. That's it. Bless you. And I'll see you on the next episode.